Hello students, I welcome you for the first lesson of class 5 history. The name of the lesson is What is History? This lesson is related with some of the definitions of history. Then there are sources of history which are discussed in this lesson. Then importance of history, why should we study history, that is also discussed here in this lesson. And classification of sources of history. So these are the major points of the lesson. So we'll be discussing one by one throughout this video. So let's begin. The first we'll see what is meant by history, or what are the definitions of history. So here are some definition given. Like the first definition is, when we try to know or understand the past, we say we are studying history. The word history refers to knowledge of information regarding past events. So if we read this definition, we'll come to know that history try to understand the events of past. It is studying about past. It refers to past. So we have the information of past. The major events of the past are depicted in the history. The theme or the study area of the subject is past events. The second definition is given here, like the science that tries to understand past events is called history. This is one more definition, like it is a science which tries to understand the events, that also scientifically. So whatever is told in history, that is scientifically proven. Then we'll be discussing about the sources of history. So in the picture you can see there are some sources which are given in the picture, like we have the sources of pots, then coins, copper plate, and books and manuscripts. These all sources will be discussing one by one. The first source of history, or what is meant by source, first I will tell. Source means from which we get information, or from that we get the information about a particular subject. So the sources in history are as we are discussing. The first source of history is monuments. So what is mean by monuments? Monuments is nothing but a building. They are built by people. Why they built, again, is a question. So most of the time they want the people in the future generation should remember them. That's why they have built such type of large monuments or large building, we can say. So if we go to any such places, we can get lot of information about the past. You must have visited with your parents or somewhere as a school trip, where you must have seen such buildings. So after seeing such buildings, you can get lot of information about the past, like what type of structure is seen in this building, then what material is used here, then we can say the age of that particular building. So there are so many things to know about that particular monuments or building. So if we study such monuments, we can get information about the past. So there are in India, there are number of such monuments which we can see, and we can go to journey of past. As we can say, a monument is usually a large structure which is associated with an important person. It may be associated with some important person. We can have the examples of Like if you say, take example of Taj Mahal, Agra, it is associated with important person. Then if we take another example also, we can take number of example where they are associated with someone. So if we are seeing such type of monuments, then a person is in our mind about whom we think, like who must have built this type of monuments, and some knowledge we try to get about such people. Then it also gives information about such events, like monuments are created on some particular events, so for some purposes. So we come or we can remember the events after seeing the such type of monuments. Monuments are built as a mark of respect of certain person or event. Okay. Some monuments are of religious importance. Some monuments can be of religious importance where people can visit for religious purposes. Then certain monuments are also famous for the beautiful and unique manner in which they have been constructed. We have number of examples of such type of monuments. Like such monuments can be seen. We have the example of Taj Mahal, Agra. Then number of example, Red Fort is also one more, where these are famous for the beauty or their unique manner, something unique about these monuments. Then we have manuscripts. So manuscripts, if you look at the word manuscripts, so this word can be divided like manu and scripts. Meaning of manu is hand and scripts means writing. So if you see, the literary meaning of this word is manuscript means hand writing. Then question arises, is it a handwriting, and then how is it different from our writing? So you must have listened that paper was invented before some years. It is not invented from a long time. So that time when the paper was not invented, so people were writing on palm leaves. They were writing on the palm leaves, and they were using birch of the trees to write down. So the writing which was done on the palm leaves is called as manuscript. Okay. Because the paper was not invented, so people were writing on the leaves of the palm. Then what is seen there in this type of manuscripts? So manuscripts were written recording some information, or the king want to record something, so he was telling his people to write the monuments. For some religious purposes, people have written monuments, manuscripts. Then there are different purposes why the people were writing manuscripts. But the problem with manuscript is that as it is organic material, means which can be eaten by the insects. So the manuscripts they are not much available right now, but some of them are still available. They are kept securely, safely. Like there are some manuscripts which we got in the temples, and some people have stored them safely. Reason is that these were pious or they were sacred writings, so people want to keep it properly, so they have kept it properly. So manuscript are though very little available, but they are also a source of history. Then next one is sculpture. So sculpture, we can say images or we can say statues. So if we study statues carefully, we can get a lot of information about the past. like what information can be uh, given from this sculpture. We can get information like what material was used to make such type of monuments, and then whose image or whose statue, whose sculpture is shown over in this image, and what time it is depicting, to which age or which era it is belonging. There are so many things we can know about it. And one more thing we can know about the past is that if the people are making sculptures, it means they have certain ideas in their mind, or they must have seen somewhere such type of things, then only they can make sculptures. Okay, so it also is a proof that they have observed or they have listened somewhere about such type of sculpture, then only they could create such type of things. For example, if they are making sculptures about particular god, so they must have listened or they must be knowing about that particular god, like how he used to look or how that god used to look and what were the characteristics of those things. So they could only guess, they have heard, then only they could make it. So we have sculptures also which are available. From them we can study about the past. Then books. So books are written from a longer time, from so many centuries people are writing the books. Books can be categorized as we can say secular books and religious books. Like some books were written for the purposes of religious purpose, we can say, like you say Vedas, 4 Vedas were written. Then there are a number of epics we have in our country. So these epics can be called as a source of history. So these are the sources of history, and it include biographies and autobiographies as well. Like in past many king, they want to remember in the future. So what they used to do, they used to tell their assistant, their people to write biography about on their life. Then we have such type of biographies about the king, queen and such rulers. And such biographies are the source of we can say history. Then we have autobiography as well, where some of the people have written books on their own life throughout. From these also we are getting a lot of information. So books are the sources of information about past. So number of books are available, and archaeologists studies those books. Even some of the writers who were enthusiastic to know about India or about other countries, so they what they used to do, they used to travel to different countries. Like we have number of people, Ibn Battuta is one of them who has traveled to India, and there were a lot of people who had traveled to India, including Chinese, then Arab. These people had traveled to India and they have observed the life of people, and they have written number of books about the Indians. So we have the different proofs, we can say different books about the past, in which were written either on life of king and queen, and even some people were writing about the common people also. So in our country, most of the books were written in Sanskrit language in past, and even some books were also written in Prakrit language or the language of common people. So where we have lot of books available. The next thing is traditional songs and stories. So you must have listened different stories and songs from your grandparents. So this story also gives lot of information about past. So we can say these are the oral source of history. Everything is not recorded, though it must have been recorded now, but earlier there were number of songs, we can say, and number of stories which are passed from generation to generation. So these are the sources of history. So we can say these as the oral source of history. So we have number of oral sources, like it includes traditional songs and stories. We have Panchatantra and number of stories which are passed from generation to generation. Even epic stories are passed from generation to generation. Then songs like folk songs are passed from generation to generation in tribal areas. In almost every area, people have maintained a tradition of songs and stories, and they are passed from generation to generation. So still we are able to enjoy those such stories and songs. So these are the sources of history. Then we have sources of history which can be categorized into some of the groups, or they can be categorized like the sources of history can be categorized into three groups. We can say material sources, then we can categorize it into written source, and third, oral source. So what can be there in material source? In material source, it can be like different things can be included in material things, like coins can be included, then structures can be included, buildings can be included, then copper plates can be included. There are number of things which can be included as material source. So archaeologists have found such type of things, and they have studied such type of things carefully. So the first source is material source, where we can classify the things as things and objects. Then we have the written source. As I told you, some of the examples like books. The books were written in past. This can be called as a written source of history. And then we have third one is as a oral source. So I have told you about written source, like biographies, autobiographies can be called as a written source of history. Then even letters which were written by the rulers to the other ruler or by the people, this can be called as written source. And then we have this oral source, where I have told you example right now only, like these people used to pass this traditional stories, traditional songs. So traditional stories and songs can be included into oral source of history. So in order to find out what happened in the past and how it happened, evidences are available from all these sources, and they are collected and thoroughly examined to determine the reliability. So history is not written only on the basis of imagination. It is, we can say, a scientific way of studying past. Means the whatever is told in history, that is not mere imagination. There are certain proofs which can prove that this thing has happened. This thing has happened in past. So through these evidences, we can say there were number of things which had happened in the past. And we have a system called archaeology. Archaeology will examine the things carefully. They dug, they examine, they carefully study about the past objects, past materials, and on their observation and with the lot of proofs, whatever is told, that we are studying in history. So in history whatever is studied, it has a scientific evidences. Though this science, or we can say, is little bit different from other sciences like physical sciences, because in physical sciences experiment can be done again and again. For example, if you want to prove that how water can be created, this can be done at any time, any place, as you required hydrogen and oxygen. But in history it is not possible, because we cannot create the things again. We cannot create or recreate history again and again as we are able to do in other sciences. So this is the basic difference between history and other sciences, that we cannot recreate, we cannot generate the sources and evidences again and again. For example, we cannot create atmosphere, or we cannot create the situation of war which had happened in the past. It's not possible, but still whatever is said, it is scientifically proved. We have certain scientific methods, like carbon 14 method is one of such method. The number of methods, on the basis of this we can say that it is also a science. Okay. Then if you want to classify some of the sources into three categories, like there are sources which can be categorized, like I have told you, sources of history can be classified into three groups, like material, and then written and oral. So here we have some examples which we will be classifying into those groups. Like first example is coins. So if you see the coin is a material or it is a thing. So we can classify coins into material source of history. Then we have the letters. So if you want to classify letters among these three categories, we can classify letters into written source of history. Then the next is forts. Forts can be classified into we can say material source. Then we have traditional songs. Traditional songs can be classified into oral source of history. Then pots can be classified into material source of history. Then copper plates can be classified into again material source of history, and it can be classified into written source as well, because many a time copper plates included written information, it included something writing. Then we have old structures, like old buildings we can say. So this can be classified as a material source of history. Then stone inscription is also, it can be classified into two groups, like it can be classified into a written source also, because something may be written on it, on stone inscription. In stone inscription there in past many people have written some information about that age on stone. So that can be classified into material and written. Then we have folk songs which can be classified into oral source of history. Then we have biographies. Then rock cut biographies can be classified into written source of history. Then rock cut caves are also there, which can be classified into material source of history. And the last one is folk tales, or the folk stories, that can be classified again into oral source of history. So here are these many sources of history, and we have even covered the definition of history and different sources of history. So which I think this is quite sufficient